Gohan achieved an insane power which left Goku totally proud. But is Gohan now more powerful than Black Frieza? This has finally been answered, and that is what I will show you today. Because the new Dragon Ball Super Saga is going to be explosive, and the Saiyan prodigy will be the pillar of all this, even more important than Goku himself. So, without further ado, let's go. Goku's desire has always been something that went beyond the mere pursuit of power. From the moment Gohan was born, he realized that his son carried within himself a potential that surpassed that of any other Saiyan. For Goku, who always lived in search of stronger adversaries, the idea that his own son could surpass him was not a cause for envy or fear, but of pride. He always saw a special flame in Gohan, something that no other warrior possessed, and this motivated him to encourage him whenever possible. In the fight against Raditz, when Gohan was still just a child, Goku was a witness to the first explosion of this dormant power. Even without understanding, he saw his son unleash a gigantic force to the point of breaking his uncle's armor. It was at that moment that Goku was certain that Gohan was not an ordinary Saiyan. For him, the priority was to protect Earth, but in parallel, the hope also arose of seeing his son grow as a warrior even greater than himself. During the Saiyan saga, Goku was impressed with Gohan's evolution. Even with the evident fear and lack of will to fight, Gohan always found a strength in his heart that emerged in the most critical moments. Goku knew that this was not just the result of luck or rage, but the reflection of an almost unlimited potential. This made him, even without always being present as a father, wish for his son to tread a path of strength that would lead him to overcome any obstacle. In the Frieza saga, even from afar, Goku noticed Gohan's growth. The boy's courage in facing enemies as cruel as Dodoria, Zarbon, and even Frieza himself proved that there was something beyond simple Saiyan heritage within him. When Goku achieved Super Saiyan for the first time, perhaps deep down, he already thought that one day, Gohan could also go beyond that barrier. But it was in the Cell saga that Goku's desire became clearer than ever. He knew that Gohan was the true key to defeating that enemy. Even after achieving impressive levels of power, Goku was convinced that his son could achieve something greater. So much so that during the tournament against Cell, he entrusted Gohan with the responsibility of the final battle. Many interpreted this as a hasty decision, but in fact it was the reflection of the absolute confidence that Goku had in his son's potential. Goku never wanted Gohan to be just a fighter. He understood that his son had another lifestyle, another heart, but even so, he wished to see this unique power flourish. He knew that when Gohan unleashed his true strength, no one could stop him. This certainty was confirmed when the young man achieved Super Saiyan 2, surpassing not only Cell but also Goku himself. At that moment, Goku did not feel jealousy or rivalry. On the contrary, he was emotional to see his son shine with incomparable strength. For him, that was the realization of a dream, witnessing Gohan surpassing his own limits and showing the universe that he was the true Saiyan prodigy. That was perhaps the greatest joy Goku had as a father and as a warrior. Even after Majin Buu's defeat and the end of the most intense battles, Goku never stopped believing that Gohan could be even stronger. Even when his son moved away from training to dedicate himself to academic life and family, Goku always kept in his heart the desire to see him recover that flame that once set the battlefield ablaze against Cell. During Dragon Ball Super, this became even more evident. Goku, upon seeing Gohan train again and rescue his potential, was proud and excited. He always sought powerful rivals, but knowing that his own son could be that rival and even a stronger warrior was something that filled his soul with satisfaction. The awakening of Gohan's mystic form was another milestone on this path. For Goku, that was a clear sign that his son still had much more to show. His true dream was never to be the strongest alone, but to see those he loves also reach unthinkable levels. And within that desire, Gohan occupied the central place. With the arrival of the beast form, this desire of Goku practically became a reality. He saw Gohan reach a power that perhaps even he could not completely control. For Goku, that was not just proof of his son's greatness, but also the confirmation that his greatest desire had always been right. Gohan was born to surpass all limits. Now, with even more dangerous enemies emerging such as Black Frieza, Goku's desire only grows. He not only hopes to fight alongside Gohan, but also wishes for his son to be the true key to protecting the universe. Seeing Gohan reach the peak of Saiyan power is, for him, the greatest reward of all the battles he has ever fought. In the end, Goku's dream was never just to be the strongest. His true desire was always to see Gohan shine with such great strength that he could surpass even himself. Because for Goku, there is nothing more gratifying than seeing his son's potential flourish before everyone, proving that the bonds of father and son can generate a power that surpasses any limit. When Gohan awakened the beast form, something became clear not only to the fans, but mainly to Goku. The desire to see his son surpass all limits was closer than ever to being realized. The simple fact that Gohan, in his first moment with this transformation, became capable of rivaling threats that even Goku and Vegeta would have difficulty facing was already impressive. But what truly shocked was the realization that, in a direct confrontation, Gohan Beast managed to break through the defense of Mastered Ultra Instinct, something that seemed impossible until then. This detail cannot be ignored. Mastered Ultra Instinct is Goku's most refined form, the result of years of training, defeats, and learning alongside the gods. It is the technique that allows the Saiyan to react without thinking, guided only by instinct, which makes him practically untouchable. For Gohan to manage to break through this barrier with his beast form is the definitive proof that his power does not follow common logic. It is something that is above any established standard. The most curious thing is that, even in the face of this great feat, Gohan made it clear that he was far from showing all the potential of his beast form. This was not just a phrase thrown into the wind, but an affirmation that carries weight and expectation. He admitted that that was only the surface of his new power, as if the true essence of the transformation was still hidden, waiting for the right moment to be revealed. This stance by Gohan is what makes the situation even more interesting. Unlike Goku and Vegeta, who constantly seek to test their limits in intense training and battles, Gohan views his strength as something that must be used in the most critical moments. He does not seek fighting for pleasure, but when the battle demands it, he awakens a power that borders on the incomprehensible. This transforms his beast form into something even more special, a power reserved for the instant when the universe really needs it. Goku, upon realizing this, did not feel diminished by having his Ultra Instinct broken through. On the contrary, he became even prouder. After all, that was exactly his greatest desire, to see Gohan reach a level so extraordinary that his own father could no longer predict his limits. For Goku, this represents the victory of a lifetime, the realization of his deepest dream. The symbolism of Gohan affirming that he still has not shown everything is enormous. This opens space for a future where he not only rivals Goku and Vegeta, but also becomes the main weapon against the greatest threats in the multiverse. And everyone knows that this moment is about to arrive: the battle against Black Frieza. Black Frieza has already established himself as the most formidable enemy that Dragon Ball Super has presented so far. His power surpasses even Goku in Ultra Instinct and Vegeta in Ultra Ego, which places the villain in an almost unreachable position. But this is precisely where Gohan enters the scene. The declaration that he still has not used all the power of the beast form clearly indicates that his true peak is being reserved for this decisive confrontation. This creates a gigantic expectation. It will be in the fight against Black Frieza that Gohan will show the totality of his transformation, revealing to the world that the beast form is not just an evolution of the mystic form, but the absolute pinnacle of Saiyan potential. The battle will be the perfect stage to demonstrate what Goku always believed: that his son was born to surpass barriers that no other warrior ever managed. Another point that makes all this fascinating is the contrast between styles. Goku masters a divine technique, the result of discipline and training with celestial beings. Gohan, on the other hand, awakens a savage, pure power which comes from within himself, from the mixture of his natural calm with the uncontrollable fury he carries in extreme moments. The clash between these styles has already shown that Beast is capable of breaking what seemed unbreakable. Now it only remains to be seen how far this power can go when unleashed in its totality. The fight against Black Frieza inevitably will be the moment when Gohan shows the universe what he is hiding. If with just a fraction of his beast form he was already capable of breaking through Ultra Instinct, what will happen when he releases all his energy without restrictions? This is the great mystery that keeps fans in anticipation. For Goku, this will be even more emotional. He will finally see his son not only rivaling the greatest warriors, but assuming the central role, carrying the weight of facing the most powerful threat of all. Goku's dream of seeing Gohan stronger than himself will be, at this moment, realized before everyone. Gohan Beast, still incomplete, is already a force comparable to the greatest. Complete, he can become the true terror of enemies and the savior of the universe. This idea is not only exciting but also fair, as it has always been Gohan's destiny to shine higher than any other Saiyan. In the end, the message has already been sent. Gohan not only proved that he can break the defense of Mastered Ultra Instinct, but also made it clear that this was only the beginning. What will come against Black Frieza will not be a simple fight, but the definitive revelation of the power that Goku always dreamed of seeing, Gohan's power at its peak, surpassing any known limit. If Gohan truly unleashes all the power of the beast form against Black Frieza, we will see a confrontation that will redefine the power level in Dragon Ball. Frieza, who always boasted of his superiority and of being one step ahead of the Saiyans, will finally find an opponent who not only equals him but can surpass him in an overwhelming way. This will be the moment when Gohan will cease to be seen as the prodigy who never trained and will be recognized as the true heir of Saiyan strength. Furthermore, this fight will be the watershed for Gohan's self-confidence. He often doubted his ability or believed he was not prepared for such great battles, but by facing Black Frieza and unleashing his beast form in its totality, he will show not only the universe but himself, that he is capable of carrying the weight of hope. This self-confidence will be the key to releasing the hidden energy he still holds. Goku and Vegeta, even present, will probably understand that that is Gohan's stage, and this will not diminish their pride at all. On the contrary, it will be the realization of the entire path they trod. For Goku, especially, it will be the living proof that his deepest desire was achieved, seeing his son becoming more powerful than him and even more prepared to protect those he loves. In the end, when Gohan faces Black Frieza with the true power of the beast form, we will see the realization of a destiny that was designed since childhood. The shy and studious boy who always hesitated to fight will become the greatest warrior in the universe. And this transformation will not only be of power, but also of purpose. Because unlike Goku and Vegeta, Gohan does not fight for the emotion of combat or pride, but for the duty to protect. And it is exactly this that will make him unstoppable before Black Frieza. When the beast form of Gohan is fully awakened against Black Frieza, the entire universe will witness something that few imagined possible. A Saiyan capable of transcending all known limits without relying only on techniques or transformations, but on the pure force of his determination and the dormant potential that has always been within him. This will be the moment when Gohan finally assumes his place as the true pillar of strength of the universe, not only as Goku's son, but as a complete warrior in his own right. And at the end of this battle, it will become clear that all of Goku's desire, seeing his son stronger than him, more powerful, more determined, was realized. Gohan will not only become the key to defeating Black Frieza, but will also show that the true legacy of the Saiyans is not just in brute force, but in courage, intelligence, and the unbreakable will to protect those he loves. This is Gohan's triumph, the climax of the dream that Goku always had. His son, stronger than him, ready to face any threat that the universe can present. But comment on what you thought of all this and don't forget to like. Thank you very much for everyone's support, and until next time.